I'm going to assume that everyone has some idea of the fantasy genre. The genre that creates worlds between worlds, where in one story you might see a wardrobe which is a door to another place, and in another a man with an octopus face. Yes, questionable. But that is what this genre is about, seeing things that wouldn't be seen or even possible in the world we know as our own. In a literary form, this genre is described as a genre of speculative fiction characterized by imaginary elements like magic, supernatural beings, and fictional worlds that are not bound by the laws of reality. This genre is an escape. You're immersed into worlds that don't even obey the laws of our own. And it's not new either. The earliest written book we have is The King of the Golden River, released back in 1841, and some even further back like in ancient times. The departure from reality can be an escape of its own, and everyone needs a break from this reality sometimes. What helps with this immersion are the mystical creatures. Fantasy is often easily recognised by creatures or beings that wouldn't find a place in our usual world. From dragons and orcs to wizards and mermaids, creatures that though are imaginable aren't seen. These characters can sometimes have important roles in a story, like the protagonist or the antagonist. We can often link these to the heroes and the villains in our movies. Frodo is the protagonist and Sauron the antagonist in The Lord of the Rings. Characters are often easily recognisable and for this genre are often more medieval wear, like how we'd link a knight to his metal armour showing their strength, or how we'd put princesses in dresses to show gracefulness. A book example of this is Paid Grey and Powerless, when in a royal setting she's dressed in a silver dress. In medieval times, these are often the visuals we get from fantasy movies, books and shows. A village set back in time, an old kingdom ruled by a king, and scenery void of any modern tech or buildings. This use of medieval settings makes it easier to imagine a dragon in a village, rather than if it was set in a modern-day city. This just adds to the immersion. Castles designed with intricate patterns that are now ruins in the modern era, the beauties of old buildings we lack to see anymore. We also see things like archery ranges and fighting arenas, settings that are built for the characters in the stories and makes it easier for us to escape, because although once similar places did exist, it's not what we experience day to day. Carrying on this medieval era, typically we see weapons like swords, bows and spears because that fits in with the time it was set rather than seeing modern guns. Sometimes these props will also have an importance to a character like Legolas from The Lord of the Rings and his bow, or how we connect knights to a sword. But props don't stop at weapons. Characters can have specific props, or there can be background props, like a king and his crown, or even just the coins that they use to buy things in the movie universe. Props are a very big part of our movie because it pushes us further into the world we're watching or reading about. Common plots in fantasy include the hero's journey, an important quest when the only person suitable for it is the protagonist, though the quest itself is usually completed by multiple people. A team effort going towards what the quest is about. Another interesting plot that often is the climax of the movie, the final battle, when the good guys fight against the bad side like Battle of the Pelennor Fields in The Lord of the Rings. These plots are important to a story as it adds an interest that would otherwise be lost, and gives us something to look forward to. Like when we see a kingdom gathering all its men, we would know a battle might take place. Fantasy is a very important genre for a lot of people. This escape from reality might be needed or even just nice to have. I think that even with the things that must be included, the genre is so vast you can never completely know what's going to happen next.